As guitarists, we're obsessed with wood. As acoustic guitarists, specifically classical guitarists or even steel string guitarists, if you don't have good wood, you have a bad sound. But just how much does the wood of a guitar impact the sound? To help answer that question, I'm here at the shop of expert luthier and my friend Marshall Brune. Hey, Marshall.
Hey, Brandon. It's good to see you again.
Marshall gave me a call and said, I have a unique situation which would make a fantastic test or an experiment. So Marshall, what are we doing today?
For the first time ever, I have 4 of my guitars that are completed with all the combinations of wood. So I've got 2 cedar, 2 spruce, 2 Indian, and 2 Brazilian.
So you mean that we have a cedar top with Indian?
That's correct.
A spruce top with Indian.
Yep.
And by that he means Indian rosewood back and sides, right? And just to be clear, the back and sides are this part and the back here. That's the back and sides, and what usually in the same piece of wood. And then the top, the soundboard, is this one. So this is the spruce, the lighter color. And then there's the darker color, which is the cedar. So the darker top for a soundboard. In this case, the back and sides are
Brazilian
rosewood.
This is amazing because I never have 4 of my guitars at one time, period. But more importantly, I never get one of each combination, which never happens. I've been dying because I haven't heard these guitars yet. I put the strings on them yesterday, and I made sure to use all of the same strings. So these are brand new guitars. At most, I've heard them tuned up.
So to be clear, they're all babies. They're all brand new, handmade guitars by Marshall. So let's put it to the test. How much does the wood actually change the sound?
Or would matter?
Would matter? So we thought it'd be fun to break out the blindfold again. This time, yeah, our elegant green blindfold. This time, Marshall's gonna be blindfolded. He doesn't know what these instruments sound like yet. And we're gonna see if I play the different combinations of woods, can Marshall actually pick out which instrument has which combination of woods?
We'll see. Or not me.
So let's try playing 2 guitars at a time, and Marshall's gonna hear each and judge which one has which set of woods.
That sounded very guitar-like.
I'm glad. That's good. You know you're a good guitar maker when your guitars sound guitar-like.
Oh, I know. I hate when they come out sounding like a cymbal.
Oh, that's the worst. I don't even know what that is.
No, it's like a piano with hammers.
Good to know. All right, guitar 2.
Sounds good.
They do sound great. I definitely like the guitars. That's the first thing.
Oh, thank you. Oh, boy. This first one had a crispness.
Yeah.
And almost a glassiness. Spruce and Brazilian?
The first one?
Yeah, I think.
What do you think the second one is?
That one felt like a cedar and Indian.
Interesting. Well, you have very good ears, Marshall. The first one was spruce and Brazilian, and the second one was cedar and Brazilian.
Okay.
You almost got it exactly right.
You can tell the cedar has that kind of fatness and warmth, and a little bit more of that crystal in nature.
I'm surprised you got the Brazilian. For me, spruce and cedar have more distinct qualities, and one of the big questions that I'm interested in this video is how much does the back and sides play into the combination of guitars? For the record, I've hid the guitars away in an order which Marshall does not know, so he's not using his superhuman ears to tell which closet the instrument is coming from.
Not that you know of.
Round 2. think?
Boy, they both sound incredibly good. Can I hear the first one?
Yeah, sure.
I think I know what it is.
I'll play a different piece this time. Same instruments, same order.
Okay.
And maybe that'll bring out some other characteristics for us that'll help. Funny thing about playing guitars back to back is you can't play them the same. Each instrument asks something else. You have to modify your approach. The same exact muscle memory doesn't work. Each instrument has to teach you how it wants to be played.
Yeah, and the worst part is that these don't know how they want to be played yet, because they don't know.
Well, we'll teach you guys. It's okay. Patience. What do you think?
Ooh, was this an Indian rosewood battle? With the first one being the cedar and the second the spruce? No.
Any second guess?
Was this a Brazilian battle?
Nope.
No. It was a cedar battle.
Same back and sides. Cedar battle.
Cedar battle.
Let's have you take off your blindfold. So we have cedar tops, but I wanted to hear, could we hear the sides and the back? The guitar 1 was Indian, guitar 2 is Brazilian rosewood. What did you hear?
To me, the first one sounded ever so slightly sweeter.
Huh.
And the second one was a little bit more crystalline and, I won't say like harsh, but it was more spruce-like.
Okay, let's do another round.
All right, sounds good. Does this work? Because it really tickles my senses.
It's perfect.
Okay, good.
What do you think?
I'm realizing I make an incredibly consistent guitar. So the first one, cedar and Indian?
Bingo.
Okay.
Nailed it.
And then the second one, cedar and Brazilian?
Wow. Nailed it.
Yeah, were you trying to high-five me?
I wasn't, but I am now.
Oh. Wow.
You nailed it.
Did I? Wow.
Let me say something to the YouTubers out there. These ears that Marshall has come from years and years, decades of training and making guitars. This is an incredible skill to hear and pick out not just the top, but the back and sides consistently is incredible and a testament to your skill as a luthier,
Well, thank you.
Marshall. Let's try again.
No? There we
Well,
go.
if you hold your hand still, it's easy.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, good. I'm glad he didn't leave me hanging.
wasn't gonna. Okay, that was amazing. We heard a total of 3 rounds, and you got almost all of them right. Actually, you only missed one, I think.
1 round? Yeah, probably. I got there in the end. This one was really, really hard. In order to hear the differences, there's so many small, subtle nuances. Once you take away the sense of sight, a lot of the nuances become so much smaller. But obviously they're there because apparently I can guess this.
Consistently.
But boy, this was really, really tough. And the hardest part for me was not playing these guitars because it's like, imagine getting that brand new present and saying you can't play with it until tomorrow.
That's right. That's one of the factors here that we have to emphasize. Not only did Marshall make these guitars, but he didn't hear them in advance. So it's not that he's going, oh yeah, I remember the sound of that guitar. He didn't know what the sound was going to be until just now. This is not just, your sommelier kind of thing of, I taste arrogance. This is clearly, you objectively blindfolded, picked out your woods.
Well, thank you, Brandon. Hey, I can see that.
Before we just wrap this one up, Marshall, I'm just curious. So how would you quantify cedar versus spruce?
Okay, so in this case, generally the cedar is slightly warmer and it's slightly sweeter, and there's a warmth around the edges of the note, whereas the spruce tends to be a little bit more crystalline. And if you think about the sound as like a sphere, it's closer to like a square rather than a sphere. And that's kind of the very, very small difference that I can hear.
Amazing. What about the back and the side? So we had Brazilian rosewood, which is this one. It's a bit more of like a curvy wood grain versus the Indian rosewood, which has more of a stripy grain. How would you characterize the back and sides?
To me, the Brazilian is a little bit more glassy, not necessarily sweeter. The Indian that I have tends to be a little bit more sweet.
That's an amazing thing. I mean, I've never before played the same exact guitar with different woods and be able to isolate the wood as the factor, the changing factor. One thing I really noticed is that I feel like I played 4 completely different guitars, and so many of the factors were exactly the same. So it's a testament to the power of the wood. I was really convinced that the back and sides don't do much.
Yeah, I have often discounted in my mind how much of a difference that makes, and now I can hear the difference. And because I've never done this, I've never had 4 of my own guitars in one space with this combination ever before.
Yeah, this is super cool, Marshall. Thanks for inviting me to do this. I had a lot of fun, and I think we both learned something.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for coming out, Brandon. And yes, we definitely learned something.
We did.
Feel free to use promo code Brandon on my website for $500 off of one of these.
Fantastic. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this and want to help me make more videos like this, you can check out my Patreon, where you can get nice rewards for helping me make videos. Also, if you want to learn classical guitar, I have an online classical guitar course called Classical Guitar Pro. There you'll find 53 videos. The course is 6 hours long. It's a full curriculum with a simulated recital at the end. So please do check that out. And until next time, thanks, Marshall.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.